Some of you might be wondering what I'm going to talk about tonight. I try to keep it positive, and tonight wasn't a very good night, at least not for the Montreal Canadiens. So Whiskey, this was a 60-minute game. There was not a whole lot of positive things that happened for Montreal. What are you going to say? I've got a plan, and I might not have to implement it full force yet, but just like how Hockey Junkie has Tankathon, I might have to incorporate Meme-a-thon because at least it gives something for us to laugh about. So I was thinking, it was nice seeing Line tonight. Him and Pizzetta were up in the players box watching the game. But why was Pizzetta dressed like he was trying to sell a monorail to the people of Springfield?
Man with money's a little like the mule with a spinning wheel. No one knows how he got it, and danged if he knows how to use it.
But I guess we have to talk about the game, so let's talk about it.
We let the people decide.
So this one kind of hurts, and it shouldn't hurt as much as it does. But I think after that win with the Oilers, I thought that they could come into this game with more of a workman type mentality and have the defensive and offensive sensibilities that they did with the Oilers, making minimal mistakes, taking calculated risks, and not just taking risks. So while I didn't necessarily think that they were going to beat the Golden Knights, I thought they would come in, and I hoped that they would come in playing like they did against the Oilers. Kind of like in the same way that I don't know if you will, but I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. I like to bring positive Hab content. There's not a whole lot of positive forward Habs content out there, so I take an intentional approach to being positive. That doesn't mean I'll patronize or condescend you when things are going poorly, but I think I want to provide a service to the Habs fans out there who just love the team and love to see each one of these young players develop. This isn't even the team yet. Demidov, he's not here. Line, he's not here. Fowler, he's not here. Hage, not here. This isn't even their final form.
Well, this is it. I hope you're not disappointed.
So please subscribe. So getting on to the game, how did this game roll out? Well, the lineups were much the same. Montembeault started in net. It was Suzuki, Dach, Caulfield, Evans, Newhook, Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, Heineman, Condotta, and Armia in that order for the forwards. And then our pairings were the same as usual. Justin Barron sits out. Michael Pizzetta is sitting out. So you would be excused in thinking that tonight might look a lot like how the Edmonton Oilers game went. Before the game got started, it was Hockey Fights Cancer night. A lot of touching moments, I have to admit, especially as a father. I'm not ashamed to say that, it got me kind of teary, especially when Josh Anderson picked up that little guy and you saw Lane Hudson getting an ovation, leading his little guy to the lineup. I'm going to put a QR code up here. This is for donations. This will send you to the Hockey Fights Cancer link that will allow you to donate if you have the ability to do so. The puck drops. It's the first period. Game looks messy. It looks sloppy. The color commentary is doing some heavy lifting, saying the Habs have been off for a while. They're looking pretty sloppy. I kind of hate when they say things like this because the Golden Knights have been on a road trip and they've been grinding it out for a few games. When the Habs are on a road trip and they've been playing a few back-to-back games, what the announcer will typically say is, well, they look tired out there because they've been playing back-to-back games. They're probably tired because they've been on the road trip for so long. Anyway, it's like you can have it both ways, and it's just a dumb remark, I think. So yeah, they're out there looking rusty, but Lane Hudson, as usual, looks like he just moves a little bit faster than everyone and thinks faster than everyone.
It's blocked. Here's Evans. Plays it across for Savard. Back for Lane Hudson. Look at Hudson with a move. Evans with a drive.
So he lines up some opportunities. Jake Evans gets put down in front of the net. It kind of looks scary. The way that he gets up.
Savard in front of the net. And a penalty coming up here as Haig lays out the cross check on Evans.
He looks like he's hurt. There's a delayed penalty. The subsequent power play, not the best power play I've ever seen. Dach and Caulfield almost give up a fat one to Eichel.
For Carlson, stopped at center by Dach, and Caulfield follows up. Then Dach touched it, and it's a break for Eichel. Short-handed to the net.
And then Armia gives up a fat one, and Hudson has to lay the body. Check this out.
Canadiens as well, where he has 17 points. And now it's Schwind with it. Down the wing, trying to drag the puck, and it's knocked over by Lane.
Also, before the end of the first period, did anybody else notice this short animation at the top of the screen?
Sloppy looking power play for Montreal. They just really never got set up and got anything quality, really. Good job by the Vegas Golden Knights penalty.
What the heck was that? Black XXX? I thought I was going to have to send the kids to bed. So the first period ends 0-0. I'm like, okay, shake it off, you know, come back, get your legs underneath you, find your rhythm. I'm not lying to you. Exactly the opposite of that. Maybe the worst period that the Canadiens have played this season. 5 back-to-back goals for the Vegas Golden Knights. Here they are in glorious 2-time speed.
Waiting, feeds it back door, Huddle scores! Still looking for goals in back-to-back games for the first time as Eichel, back to Barbashev, score! What a pass! Driving in deep, Pearson scores! There's the shot. He just missed it. And it drops down and Kolesar beats his man Jack out of the front of the net.
That's the second period. 5-0 Golden Knights. So going into the third period, what are you hoping for? 6 goals would be an unrealistic expectation. So I'm thinking, what if Jack Eichel drops the gloves and makes some fun out of it? Or how about Emil Heineman getting a goal?
Armia descend dans le coin. Voici Gallagher. Rondelle pour Armia. Armia freine. Armia passe dessus. Le tir à but!
And then maybe Struble getting his first of the season.
La rondelle contre la clôture. Gallagher envoie derrière à Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel tire de loin. C'est dévié. La rondelle pour Gallagher. Gallagher revient devant. Disqualifié. Le tir à but!
But even though they played well in the third period, there wasn't really much more to talk about. Golden Knights get another goal. It ends 6-2. And that's the game, 6-2. What do I want to remark on? Kirby Dach. If you go on a online forum talking about the game tonight, you're going to find some people saying some pretty bad things about Kirby Dach. And I am going to agree with them at this point. I think that the first line Kirby Dach experiment should be over. His hand has been held long enough. He was out for a long time. He's got to find his footing, but I don't think you find it on the first and second line the way that you're playing. He's got to grind it out. He's got to find his game again. And maybe that means putting on his skates extra tight and playing some third line hockey. Martin St. Louis did bench him and then demoted him. He came on in the third period near the end and he was grinding it a little bit. You got to see more from Dach. Same goes for Slav. Something that occurred to me is that what's happening on this team is you're seeing players like Newhook, Gallagher, Hudson. I'm hesitant to say Caulfield, but Caulfield has the goals. You're seeing the smaller players play like they're bigger players, and you're seeing the bigger players play like they're the smaller players. Put that quote on a shirt, just credit me, maybe throw me a couple bucks, because that's the story of the Canadiens this season. You got Brendan Gallagher out there every single shift, playing like it's his last, putting his body on the line. He's one of the older players on the team. He doesn't play like he's afraid to get hurt. Anyway, I digress. I'm actually going to call it right there. It's getting quite late. I want to get up early and potentially go play some hockey with my son tomorrow morning. Hope you had a great night regardless of the game. Starting to get cold, starting to become that time of year. If you celebrate Christmas, did you get your Christmas shopping done yet? Or did you get it started at least? It's always a fun time of the year. If you're a Canadian, at least we have that cool tax thing coming around. That's a nice bone that they threw to us. Thank you, my lord, for this pittance. Oh, how do I end these videos? Subscribe if you're not already a whiskey fiend. I'd love to have you. You made it this far in the video, right? Like the video, helps me out with search results, algorithm stuff. And as always, I'll see you down below in the comments.